Once upon a teal-tinted morning in the cheerful land of Chanticleer country, three storytellers gathered round a golden microphone. There was Chili, the rhyme-slinging rooster with a voice smoother than a sunrise over the swamp. Beside him sat TD, the gridiron giant with stories so strong they could bench press a bulldozer. And rounding out the trio was Info Joe, the broadcaster of brilliance, his words weaving wisdom like waves on the Waccamaw. Together they hosted the Strut Podcast, a place where every play became a poem and every game became a grand adventure. Now, children, lean close because today's tale is about some wandering visitors from the Misty Mountains, a group of gridiron travelers who call themselves the Appalachian State Mountaineers. They hiked around Boone, bold but bewildered, ready to face the fearless flock of teal. But oh dear, someone must have taken a wrong turn at Reality Ridge because those poor mountaineers haven't found the winning way in quite some time. One fellow even said, "We're bringing our tradition," but it must have gotten lost somewhere between 2007 and the present day. Another claimed, "We climb higher," and yet every season they seem to slip on the same muddy mountain of mediocrity. And their playbook, well, bless it, it's more outdated than a flip phone in a smartphone world. And their mascot, Yosef, he's got more splinters than swagger. Bless his lumberjack heart. He's the only mountaineer who can't tell the difference between a first down and a face plant. But children, this is not just a story about who crows louder or runs faster. It's a tale to teach a truth. Because here in Teal territory, we've learned that swagger isn't shouted, it's shown. That pride isn't perched on a mountaintop, it's proven between goalposts. And sometimes, even when the other team shows up with their mountain myths and moonshine memories, hard work, heart, and a hint of humor will always win the day. So remember, little shots, stand tall, strut proud, and let your teal light shine. Because in the end, it's not about who talks the tallest, it's about who finishes the fight. Now, let's turn the page, pump up the pride, and press play. Because this is the Strut Podcast, where Chili, TD, and Info Joe tell tales so true they sound like legends. And legends so legendary they could only come from Coastal Carolina University. That is your children's cautionary tale for this evening, Info Joe and TD.
That's outstanding.
I don't know if I am inspired or I feel like a
What are
warm
your
glass of
feelings,
milk
TD?
and a pillow, or I feel
Was it that
like
boring? You put you to sleep?
no, it was one of those like good classic tales, kind of about like how the last 5 years have been in this series.
That's kind of
And I
what I
know
was
that
going
I know a
for.
few App State fans, and well, we won 3 national championships, and we used to beat y'all back in the day. Yeah, and dinosaurs roamed the earth too. I mean,
That was a good one, TD.
that was great. I
That
That
was
mean,
a
was
good
good.
one.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time period where too Georgia Southern won a bunch of titles.
How long ago was that?
They not they not doing that no more. But it'd be interesting. I text y'all today. I'm ready to get into this, and for all the reasons, this is a launching point for both team seasons. It never fails. I know we're going to get into it, but this is a pivotal point, especially after what transpired. I wasn't on the Sunday strut. I know y'all have already reviewed the games. Thank y'all and everybody that was listening. I know y'all said I wasn't here. I spent time with my dad, my son, and Pop's health is not as good as hoped, but we're making every day the best we can with it. And Sunday and Monday were a good opportunity for me to go and get Pop in the woods and go deer hunting and give him a little time out there, little buffoon therapy. And so I appreciate y'all's patience, and I heard from a few people asked if everything was all right. I say everything's fine. Just this podcast and this program and this university mean a lot to all three of us and all our families. But family first always. And so when Pop says he feels good enough to go hunting, we're gonna load up and go hunting.
Let's go.
We're gonna go. Not going
See,
to
if
think
he
twice
said
about
go
it.
tonight, we would let you have gone tonight too. Don't
I
mistake
think my
that.
job
You could have gone
may
tonight
have
if you wanted.
something. We were off. I took Monday and Tuesday off because the kids were out. Chili, y'all were out of school Monday and Tuesday, right, or just Monday?
No, we were off. Well, down here Monday was a teacher work day, so we didn't have the day off. Kids were off, but the teachers and I still had to go in.
Gotcha. Joe, y'all school? Everybody's got some similarities, but I found out the coastal schools. I know your kids are out of school. I didn't know if anybody had kids, and they were. We were out Monday and Tuesday because Monday was a holiday, but then Tuesday was a teacher work day because of hurricane mitigation. But since we thankfully haven't had to deal with a hurricane, they had those days built in. So I took Monday and Tuesday off and spent some time with family and Coach Max's team up to a 30-0 victory. Duly noted, that's 3 zeros in a row. I do coach defense. I'm channeling my inner Jeremiah Johnson.
I was about to
At
say
times.
you're three. That's 3 shutouts in a row. I mean,
3
that's, you
shutouts
know,
in a row, man, and at least 30 points or more. That's the goal every night. 30 points more. Than
you're the
shutout.
Buddy Ryan of rec football.
We do run the 3-4 with 2 Spurs. We go cover 2. We may go some spy coverage. I understand it's 10U football, but we're gonna get after somebody. We're gonna make them think, baby. There's nothing like getting a bunch of 9 and 10-year-olds thinking. That's the worst thing you can do, Chili and Joe, on the football field. Get them thinking, unless they're your players and you've taught them how to think. But if you're making the other opposing team think, that's when it gets real fun. They don't know who's coming from where. We're twisting linemen. We're shifting people. Joseph, we get after it, baby. I mean, it's Max had a pretty good game.
TD's version of the Soul Collectors going on.
Man, we get after
there.
it, dude. I'm telling you, I coach defense, man. And Coach Pinckney, dude, for me, I've talked about it, man. Hey, we get after it, man. We take some massive intensity with these boys, man. And we teach them accountability, Chili. I'm in with this.
Go
We
ahead.
had 2 young men acting up in school. We found out this week their parents came to us and we ran them. And for those listening, if you've ever listened to this podcast about this time every year, hey, attitude and effort, 2 things we talk about, and being young men and being accountable. Sounds a lot like David Bennett. But let me tell you something. We have
stuff
parents
works.
and grandparents literally come to us, Joe and Chili, and say, I need you to treat them as if they were in high school or college. They need to run. They need to understand. They need to sit out a game. They need to understand there's consequences to their actions. And we do. We sat one of our best players 2 years ago. Almost lost the game, but let me tell you what happened that very next week at school. We found out from his teacher. She actually came to the game and said, I don't know what y'all did, but he said, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, the rest of the year. Homework was in on time. He never talked back, nothing.
Good.
Got
Nothing
after
wrong
it.
with that.
Learned.
Got after it.
Well, speaking of getting after it, why don't we go ahead and get after it with App State, Joe and TD? I'm going to kick us off with some information here like we always do. TD is going to have some stuff from what we used to call inside the helmet. I don't know if you took your helmet off or not, TD, but I think, Joe, I think he should wear a helmet when he does his segment from now. Like maybe put the microphone inside the face mask and just kind of talk like this. Anyway, something to think about down the road, TD. Maybe you can work that out. Put the microphone, attach it, whatever. Or he's actually going to go do it, Joe. He just put his headphones down. I'm going to go ahead and start. He's going to miss some stuff, but he's going to have his helmet on, so it's worth it. Let's talk about App State, Joe, while TD's getting his props together. App State's leading rusher, Rashad Dubinion. I think I might have said that last name wrong, but I think it's close to Dubinion.
I
He
think
has
you're right. I think
109.
that's good.
Is that right? Okay.
I think you're right.
119 carries, 677 yards, 3 touchdowns. Passing wise, AJ Swan is their leading passer. But Joe, I think, are we going to see a different passer or maybe a second quarterback
It won't be
against
Swan.
us?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Swan right now statistically at 943 yards passing with 6 touchdowns. He's coming into the game this Saturday with a 128.36 QBR. Oh boy,
Yeah, it's gonna
I've
be
created a monster.
JJ Cole, man. That's who the quarterback's gonna be.
Well, JJ Cole, I had Swan as far as like what they had listed on the website in terms of like who the statistical leader was. I'll be honest, as far as like keeping up with App State, I can go back and get Swan's numbers in just a little bit, but that's what I had as far as my research told me. I can go get the other guys in just a second. Receiving wise, Dalton Stroman, 21 catches, 369 yards, and 3 touchdowns. They've got a second guy, Jaden Barnes. He's got 27 catches, 355, and 4 touchdowns. Tackling, Colton Ferris, 38 tackles. Sacks, Thomas Davis has 3 sacks. As far as interceptions go, Colton Ferris and DJ Burks both have 2 interceptions apiece. We kind of hinted at this just a little bit ago, but I want to bring it back up because of how big this game is as far as Sun Belt Eastern Division standings go. This is maybe the biggest midseason game they've had in a while when it comes to standings, possibly getting changed all around because not only are we traveling to the mountain up at App State, but JMU and ODU face each other. So the top 4 teams in the Eastern Division are playing each other this week. I found a couple of ties to Coastal in addition to what we've had already. Former Citadel head football coach Kevin Higgins is the pass game coordinator specialist person for App State now. And if he's the pass game specialist, considering how they passed when we saw the Citadel last time when he was the head coach, we're going to be in good shape when it comes to the passing game. Ryan Urachek, Joe and TD. Oh, I had to throw that one in there. Ryan Urachek is the son of former Coastal AD Hunter Urachek. And one last note I'll have, and I'll give it to you, TD, is App leads the series 7-4, but Coastal won 3 of the last 4. App also leads the series in body odor, while Coastal leads the series in being able to retain your teeth. That's what I have as far as Coastal and Appalachian State go. TD,
Good
now that you've
Lord,
got your
Chili.
helmet on, you're ready to go.
Well, hey, my analysis is going to be pretty straightforward. Again, App State, even under Dow Loggins, let me loosen up the old chin strap here. There we
His
go.
head has gotten bigger since he played, folks.
There we go. Can you hear me, Joe? Can you hear me? Do you like how I've expanded the headset here? So I feel like I'm actually in an NFL game. I feel like I'm the kids now with the helmet where they got the radio in it.
You should have
So-
put your stats and stuff on a wristband and
We
just been
could do
able to
stats on
refer
a
back to
wristband.
that.
I think this is a first.
This
for
is a
me
first.
doing the helmet like this. Interesting.
I like it.
Interesting. Well, here's the deal. Dow Loggins is leading up this team now, right? They're 1-1 in the conference. They're 4-2 overall, right? And so, to your point, we were texting about this earlier. This is a massive pivotal game for the Sun Belt East and for Coastal. With Old Dominion playing JMU, I'm going to get to that first. A Coastal loss really puts us behind the 8 ball to really climb the ladder in the East. It doesn't mean it's insurmountable. It does make it a harder climb. A win up on the mountain and a JMU loss. Now we have a 4-way tie potentially for first in the East. It's a big non-conference test. Again, this game really has, if you think back, y'all, the last 5 years, and Joe, you call these games, Chili and I, it's actually the first game in Boone as a player or as a fan that I've not gone to this year. So we're not going this year. We're watching it from home. And so we'll be watching it from here. And that crowd, it's the first time we played in Saturday in what, like 5 games ago there?
2019 was a Saturday game.
Yeah,
The
that was
36.
it. That was the last time we played Saturday. Other games have been Tuesday and Wednesday and leap year day. And I mean, it's been whatever random day they could find to put the game on because it's always been a good game. But they're going to try to run the ball, establish a run, right? That's something that they're going to try to do. Stroman is their number 1 target, right? Offensively, they're about 419 yards a game, high volume passing attack, but they're going to try to establish a run to get the pass open. Points per game, they're about 23 points per game, passing 271, running about $148, but they're a little bit of the opposite of us, not a little bit, they're opposite of us, where I said it on this pod, if we can go and get 185 plus yards and 55% better pass completion, no turnovers from the quarterback position, we're going to win games. And you go look at the games that we've won and go look at that stat line, and we've done that, right? Over 55% completion or right at it almost. No turnovers. 185 yards or more, it's just enough to offset running the ball for almost 250 yards a game. Interesting enough, though, they've had 7 interceptions and 5 fumbles lost in 5 games. We got to get them in turnover down situations. That's the thing that they have to do. Again, y'all touched on, I think it's Dubian and Swan. You touched on them. Statistically, defensively, though, look, man, they're going to get after. They're going to try to get after the run game, right? Total defense right now is they're giving up 350 yards a game. Opponents per game are scoring about 26 points per game, but they're only giving up 87 rushing yards per game. That's top 10 in the country. But opponents are passing for 264. That makes me feel like if we can get Collier, I got to take this off so I can talk, get serious here for a second. If we can get Collier going early with the run game to open up some things in the pass game, man, we could this could get real fun real quick, right? What I saw with Collier, I know I didn't talk about it much. I'm not going to be dead horse because y'all broke it down. I know you did. The one thing Collier's legs give us is the ability to evade that loss in the pocket, right? And he can flick it really well. A lot of our fans are talking about this. I saw the game, broke the game down. I'd like to see him in dry conditions, right? See him in dry conditions and see what we could do. Now, he's going to get first week reps. He got first week reps all this week. That's what he's going to get. He's going to be the starter. He knows it. Against an offense or against a defense that, frankly, is giving up 265 yards passing a game. If we can rush the ball, here's my prediction. If we can rush the ball for $140 or more, and he throws the ball for $185, I know that's not even 400 yards. We will win this game because it's the impact of those plays, right? Because if he can throw it for $185, he's going to actually probably throw it for $285. If they're giving up 263, that means they're playing soft coverage, which they are, right? They're going to play a lot of 2 deep. They're going to try to keep everything in front of them. That's why they're so good on the run. Their front 7 is absolutely clamping down on the run. Do you remember our 2020, 2021 defense, Joe and Chili, how the front 7 just absolutely clamped down the run and we get infuriated. It'd be 3rd and 13 and we'd give up a first down, right? Because we kept everything in front of us, but we found the intermediate zone. That's what we're going to have to do against App. We're going to have to work the middle third of the field on them all game, and that's going to open up things off the tackle in the backfield. It's going to open up things like swing pass and screens, but we have to work the middle third of the field. If we work the middle third of the field, it could get real fun real quick. Defensively, keep doing what they're doing, man. That was an excellent game versus ULM, even in the conditions, right? Keep turning the ball over. Win the turnover. Joe, what are the win the turnover battle, win the time of possession? What are the other 2?
Fourth quarter scoring.
Penalties,
right? So if we can do those 4 things, we'll win. But in this game, we rush for $140 and throw for 185 plus, we'll win this game by at least 10 points.
See, I think $140 is more reasonable than thinking that we might go for 185. I think $140 is a more realistic.
It's about running the ball for $140.
I'm saying run. If we run for $140, I think that's a more realistic because we average 159 on the season. We go for 185. That's well above our season average.
I'm talking about 185 passing. If we pass the ball for 185.
Oh, okay. Well, I got that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting.
Yeah.
We run for $140. We throw for 185. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. We run for that against what you just mentioned is the number. I think they're the number 2 rush defense in the Sun Belt and 6th overall in the country. I mean, Correct. They are stout. Their defensive numbers, the 3rd in scoring defense. These are in the conference. 3rd in total defense, 2nd rush. You mentioned the pass defense. That probably is an offshoot of the fact that nobody can run, so they just throw it.
They just throw it. So it's inflated. It's an inflated number. But you've got to work the intermediate area, right? So, that 5 to 15.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So And then third down conversions, they allow 38%, which is that's fifth.
Yeah.
Their red zone defense is number one in the conference. You know,
Fifth in the country.
yeah,
Fifth in
so
the country.
They're really good in the red zone. Pass efficiency defense is sixth, even though they do give up a lot of pass yards. Offensively, there's nothing that really jumps out at you other than they do have the number one passing attack in the conference at 278 per. Chili, you mentioned J.J. Cole. He started Oregon State. That's when they ran him out there to
And I
actually
got his
start a
numbers, Joe,
game.
if you're interested. I can share those with you now if you
Yeah,
want to pull them
I mean,
in.
if you got some stuff on him, I was gonna let you have.
Yeah, just I can throw it in. I'll get right back to you. J.J. Cole, 563 through the air, and he has 5 touchdowns so far this year.
Yeah, no interceptions.
Yes.
So he's not turning the ball over, which is what they want. They don't. They don't need somebody to turn the ball over. The quarterback. So he's a tall kid. He's a big kid. He's a big old kid. But so you look at those numbers. Dominion leads the conference 111 per. He's the number one rusher in the conference. And I'm not going to go into the repeat anything you guys just said. My look at it is more along the lines. And TD, you mentioned Collier a little bit. What he brings to this offense to me is explosion. He brings he brings a level of explosiveness that we have not seen from a quarterback until he went out there. My opinion, that 39-yard touchdown run, and I wrote about some of this in the blog that I posted yesterday. I wrote about some of this. He brings an explosive factor to this offense, and we simply hadn't had. If you go through our explosive plays, if you ever print out that PDF from Stat Broadcast, it'll tell you a mountain of information each game, right? You look at our explosive plays, passing plays 15 yards, rushes 10 plus, all plays 20 plus. Now all plays 20 plus can include returns and that kind of thing. But I mean, when we've won games, we've had 15, 16, and 15 in terms of explosive plays in each game. Now, and that's not a lot. It's really not a lot, compared to what we used to do. But he brings an explosive play capability, I think, to this offense. What guys have to do downfield is get open, number one. And when you're open, either catch the ball, make a play. Because there were some plays the other night, even in the wind and rain, that he had the ball in a guy's hands, and it was either dropped or the receiver just didn't make an adjustment to catch the football. I mean, it's right there. Now it wouldn't have made his stats like otherworldly, but it would have made it look a little bit better, because he can just kind of flick that ball. That thing goes. That touchdown pass he threw to Brooks Johnson was pretty dang impressive, right? Nice little touch on that ball, waited for him to come up and make his break, whoop, put it right on him. I was like, look at that. That was a good looking pass. And then, of course, that run was, we hadn't seen that from a quarterback all year. We've got to have explosive plays offensively. And I think, too, defensively, we've got to weather the storm up there. They're going to be wearing all gold. It's their homecoming. They're going to be fired up. There will be 30,000 plus there. This will be the rowdiest atmosphere that we play in this season. And I know that we played at Virginia, and I know that we played at Old Dominion, and I know that we have this place over in Columbia that we're going to play at a little bit later. But there will not be a rowdier crowd than we're going to see in Boone on Saturday. TD, like you, I've been to every game in Boone up to this point. I, like you, will be watching from the home turf on this one. As a matter of fact, I was on the radio for all 7 previous games up there, and finally called a win the last time we were there. And that was pretty nice. But that place is a fantastic atmosphere. And I think 3:30 is the perfect kickoff time. It is a perfect time.
That's their traditional kickoff time. Most people don't
that
realize
is their traditional kickoff.
They've actually not gone on TV despite that. People don't realize that. Joe, you know that. Yeah, you know that.
ESPN doesn't get in the way. They want to kick at 3:30, and it goes from you get time to get up, tailgate, get lubed up, get in there, get rowdy,
and they will get lubed up, buddy.
Day turns to night. I love it when it does that. And by 7 o'clock, you're out of there. But this will be the rowdiest bunch that we will see all year. And how our kids handle that. Traditionally, App gets off to really fast starts against us up there for whatever reason. I think that team is more comfortable than any other team in the conference on their home field. That program is so comfortable in that environment. Now, the last 2 times we went there, we were the ones who jumped out in front. We were the ones who jumped up by 2 scores. We couldn't hang on in 21, but we did in 23. So hopefully we can go and weather a storm, get through the first quarter, and find some explosion in our offense and move the ball, because 15 points and 250 yards of offense just ain't gonna get it done. I don't care what's going on. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to watching it. This is not an App State team that, I'm not terrified by this bunch by any stretch. I think they're down from what they used to be. We're down from what we used to be. Let's just be honest about it. But this is not a App team that makes me quake in my boots. I think this is a winnable game. We go up there and do the things we're supposed to do, not beat ourselves. Hey, by the end of the day, we could be sitting pretty.
And Tim Beck can still be undefeated against App State.
How crazy would that be, man? Gee whiz, that's just like, yeah.
Of all of our coaches that have faced App State,
he figured it out against that crowd, can't he?
It's having gone up there and played once in the playoff, and then going up there as a fan. Grayson McCall had a little tweet. This is one of those where we get to reminisce a little bit. This is rivalry. This is
your lather week.
This is lather week, man. This is whenever we start playing Liberty again, as we should do every year. No questions asked. We should play them every year.
I wish we had them this year. They're not very good. They New Mexico State handed them one on a silver platter last night. Said, man, we don't want to win this game here. We can't field a punt. You take it. That's what they did last night. If anybody watched it,
it's look, I know that we always try to keep on our cap, but this is one of those weeks where going up there 2 years ago, excuse me. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Kim and I went. We stayed in Blowing Rock. By the way, beautiful towns, Conway in the mountains, at the Hellbender Inn. We came down with all our coastal stuff on game day, and we were like the damn pariah up there, man. We were the leopard. Nobody. They were. Oh God. Oh, they've been here the last 2 nights. We let them stay here. Jeez. I remember walking up. We're getting to the game. We're watching the game transpire. The big play happens with the fumble, and we recover it, and we go down, and then we didn't do anything. Then we go down again. We finally kicked the field goal. And I remember walking out, and my wife and I've got Joe Cashin in my AirPod in the post game, in there, right there. Kim and I are walking in a sea of black and gold misery, pure just misery. And they were talking crap the entire time. And I just smile, and I listen to Joe and Lane and Katz and everybody just smile. I just listen to the post game, and one guy goes, "What you smiling at, you MFer?" I just bobbed my head. It was a one occasion I was like, when you kick somebody's ass or you beat them at their place, you don't have to say nothing. You ain't got to say nothing. You just smile and get back to your car, put your car flags back up, because you don't want to leave them on, because they'll do something to your car. They will. Don't think they won't. And you just ride back through town. Kim can attest to this. On the way back from Boone to Blowing Rock, before we got out of Boone, every other car and every other person on the sidewalk was flipping us the bird. Jameson Tucker and I have a lot in common. We had a lot of number 1 fans that night. He did it when he scored a touchdown. We did it right out of town with our flags, just popping in the wind, boys.
Man,
it was great. It was great.
Evan Jumper picking up that beer and killing that thing.
Dude, Evan Jumper picking that beer up.
That's one of the funniest
and it's
things
cool, that picture of the 2 guys standing in the end zone waving is in the field house.
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
and TD, you've seen it.
Hung
It's
it, man.
beautiful.
You got to hang it.
Yeah.
Hang it in the lose, baby. But hey,
hang it.
I was going to mention this real quick. Grace McCall, they did a quick video. If you haven't seen it, go back and look at it. And I had to retweet. I told y'all I retweeted it. But you go to Blowing Rock. Here's how you get that. You go to Blowing Rock till you smell it. Then go another 18 minutes north until you step in it. And that's Boone. You've made it the Crap-a-Latchin' stank.
And what a great segue, Joe and TD, to get into what's one thing we're looking for this week. So I'll start things off. And guys, based on what we said so far, I really feel like in some weird way, Joe, what you said made a lot of sense to me, because I was trying to think of one thing to kind of go with going into the game. I really honestly believe right now there's more pressure on App than there is on us to win this ball game Saturday. So I really believe that App's got to lock in and maybe keep the noise behind them as opposed to us doing so, because you've got us at their place on the traditional 3:30 kickoff, rowdy place. They're big favorites at home. There might be some pressure on App because there's an opportunity, like we see the opportunity, like JMU and ODU see the opportunity with this 4-team kind of Eastern Division playoff happening this weekend. App might be looking at this opportunity going, well, Coastal's not nearly as good, but you better not screw it up. So maybe my one thing this week is there's more pressure on App than there is on Coastal going into this game. So maybe it's how we put pressure on Appalachian State this week at home. That's my one thing.
I think my one thing is, can we control the controllables? Joe, to your point, 40,000 strong, homecoming, 3:30 kick, gold jerseys. We're probably going to be in white and teal, right? Can we control the early controllables? Our emotions, our assignments, right? Can we control those two things? That's got nothing to do with X's and O's. That's the downstream outcome. Can you manage the energy? Can you match it? Can you control the controllables early on? Period. I don't have any like we got to run a slant here and high-low read there and get off the tackle and squeeze, read, and react on the spurs and try to run like keep Strowman in a box. I don't have any of that. Control the controllables. Play assignment football and channel the 40,000 energy into a Chanticleer victory. Use their energy to get a cold, frosty Miller time at the end of the game in front of the students one more time. That's all I got. One more.
I like it.
So I guess my one thing is going to be real simple, and it's the position on the field that everyone looks at, and that's the quarterback spot. And how do we perform at that spot? I fully anticipate, not because I know anything, but I figure that Collier is going to start this game, and I think he should, given what we saw last week and the potential that we have, I think, in that young man. How does he perform? How does he handle? How does he handle this? Right? I mean, because we've had a number 10 before that has played extremely well in this game. We needed a number 10 to come along to take us to victory. If you go back to that 2020 game, that I wish they'd show that run that he had in the third quarter that really flipped everything in that game and wound up flipping everything in this series, because that's when it became a rivalry. The 2020 game. We beat him in Conway for the first time, and Grayson took off on that. He set sail on that 60 whatever it was yard run. They couldn't run him down, and everything kind of turned right then and there. He wore number 10. So our quarterback on Saturday, that I anticipate will start this game, will wear number 10. And how does he perform in this thing, right? We don't know what's going on with Hudson. I have not seen the availability report. I was looking for that just a few minutes ago, but I don't know that they've posted that yet to see who we have on it or who we don't. Shane Bruce, it'd be great to get him back this week. Leads us in tackles, and we were still able to play good defense last week. Really good, right? So I'm anticipating the defense to play well. They played well 5 or 6 times. But how number 10 deals with that environment, and can he rise to the occasion in this thing? Can he rise to the occasion? And what all of us have said here in the first 34 minutes, we've talked about the atmosphere. We've talked about the rowdiness. Best environment there is in the Sun Belt Conference, and they'll have it, homecoming, they'll have it, packed to the gills with people. You can't beat that place, man, for that kind of, I mean, I love it when we have 18, 19, 20,000 show up at Brooks, but I'm just telling you, man, you got to go. If you've never been to Boone for a game, go yell yourself that to go.
Especially for this game now. I'm telling you, I was there.
Yeah,
we went.
Man, it's
in 17 when we joined,
man.
In 17 when we joined, it was a good atmosphere. In 19, everybody was friendly. It was great. We went back in 21. I got MF'd and MF this and MF your I mean, it went from, oh, thank y'all for coming to why the hell are you here?
Well, exactly. Once you beat them, even back in 05 and 06 and TD, I know you remember those games. I do too, because I was there.
I was
Right,
there.
the regular season game where they boat raced us in the first half, and then the playoff game where they boat raced us in the first half, and we almost came back.
We
Had
almost
a chance,
did.
I thought, but I mean, there was 25,000 people there for both those games. It was crazy, even back then before they went FBS. So I mean, yeah, how 10 handles this thing, and he's got somebody over there on the sidelines who's been through this who wore that same number. So hopefully we get the kind of play out of our quarterback position and people help him to give us a chance in this thing. And I think we got a great chance. Again, this isn't the, you know, vintage App State teams, but they are better. But see how 10 does in this thing.
I had a memory too, Joe, to go along with the 2020 game. And the three of us were there in our various capacities. But I just remember 2020. App State had the ball deep in our territory. The end zone was at the quarterback's shadow. Drops back to pass on fourth down. To Jordan Strong, picks it off. Pick six, brings it back to the end zone for a touchdown. He tweeted that video out. And one thing that was funny about it this week, I love how it still means a lot to former players, first off. And here's how you know it does because of what the Jordan Strong said about what happened in that play. Did y'all see what he did and what he said? He talked about the play itself, and he said he still got negative marks from Chadwell because he was supposed to catch it and go down and kill the clock, and instead of trying to run it back for a touchdown, because y'all know as good as I do, it was like 27-23 on that pick six. So the
Exactly.
game has not been decided yet. And so, you catch it, you fall down, then we can, take a knee in the ball game. But I mean, he brings it back to the house for a touchdown. And I was there. I was going as wild as I possibly could. It was the COVID year. The stadium was about half full, but I guarantee you, my son and I were both wearing fake mullets in our overalls. We were having a good time at that ball game. But the Jordan Strong pick six, one of my favorite App State memories as far as those games go.
That was one of the most electric moments.
Yes.
Even though, like you say, Chili, it wasn't packed. It would have been had we not been under the COVID protocol, whatnot. That it would have been packed that day. But even with the fans that were there, that was calling that play and just feeling the electricity. He wasn't going down with that football.
No.
He wasn't going down. That thing was to the house. To put an exclamation mark on it. But that was an amazing play that he made, and that was when the whole thing kind of turned around. And man, they're chomping at the bit up there, man. They can't stand it. They can't stand it. They lost 4 of the last 5 to us. It's the funniest thing, and it started that day.
And TD and Joe, to go along with that same video, I was kind of, because when you see those clips, I know y'all do the same thing I do. You look at players' names on the back of their jersey and think about those guys and what their contributions were in previous years. And I noticed when the Jordan Strong ran into the end zone, he runs close to the student section out the back of the end zone. And the first guy who grabbed him from behind in the embrace as the game was ending was CJ Brewer. I'm like, God, that's another good memory of another good player we had that played in that series, who it means a lot. I mean, Isaiah Likely tweeted out a picture or a video of him catching that pass from Grayson, that long touchdown catch that he had against App State.
75 yards, right over the top.
Yeah, and these guys are tweeting it out because this App State game means a lot to our former players. I know, TD, it means a lot to you having played at App State and everything too, but it's just kind of cool seeing all these guys begin to come back together to show just their disdain. Like Grayson tweeted out the video, and even Coach Beck said this week that we don't like them, they don't like us. So I mean, this is a rivalry. I don't care what App State says about Georgia Southern or whatever. They don't like us either because we've been beating them the last 3 years here. So deal with it. We're here.
Well,
Cam Peoples,
those guys got that they had into them inculcated passion for this. I mean, passion, like it means something. It means something to people who wore the uniform, went on out there and played against that bunch. It means something. And that's what, that's what people like CJ Brewer, you just mentioned, and Jordan Strong and Grayson and guys like that who, played 4, 5, 6 years ago. and up until whenever it means something to those guys. It meant something to be the first team to finally beat that crowd.
Trey
I mean,
Carter.
Trey and that bunch. I mean, all Silas Kelly, Teddy Gallagher, for crying. They still hate Teddy. They hate Teddy Gallagher's guts up there for whatever reason. Not that Teddy ever tried to stick it to him, but I mean, it was passion. It means something. That's what you love. That's what you love to hear. That's how rivalries are. It means something.
Yep.
Hey, Cam Peoples, All-American running back, All-Conference running back. Cam Peoples, great running back for them. He and I follow each other on Twitter. And rare, do you see him post something about another school? 1 hour ago, he tweeted out, #BeatCoastal. And he ain't tweeted anything out about anybody else all year, right? He's a coach now. And he showed a clip of that year they won, and their wide receiver number 2 held our defensive back. And there's a video. Go look at it, right? I tweeted back, it was a hold then and it's still a hold now. Beat out.
I got a teacher at my school who's an app graduate, and we're walking down the hallway today, and I had on a Coastal teal colored tie because it's App State week, and I'm gonna wear as much teal as I can fit in a week. And she goes, "Oh, there's that ugly teal." And I'm just trying to give her a hard time. We're going by each other. She got something wrong as far as what the schedule at school was today, and my response to her was, "That's okay. You still got in App State."
It's culture, right? It's mountain folk, beach folk. It's we're hard nosed, but the beach isn't. It's contrasts of lifestyles, contrasts of program. I mean, it's what a good rivalry. I even saw a couple of former players, Joe, Chili. They say they hate playing. They hate Coastal more now than they hate Southern, and they look forward to playing this game more than they do look to playing the Southern game. And that's saying a lot. That is saying a lot.
You mentioned Cam Peoples. Cam Peoples in that 2020 game had a monster first half. Yes. He went for $150. We couldn't slow him down. We couldn't slow them down. Reason we were 17-9 down for half in that game. We come out in the second half. I don't think he got 10 yards in the second half. We shut him and we shut them down.
We sold out on the run, man.
We sold out. We shut. I mean, they had 6 points in the second half. We shut their butts down in the second half. Big reason we won that game.
Jordan Strong said that Coach Chadwell on that last play. Did y'all see his tweet?
Yeah, I just mentioned it.
Chili just mentioned that.
I just literally talked about it.
Oh, about the sorry, man. Sorry. My bad, man. I zoned out for a second.
TD, go back to YouTube and rewind it. You'll hear everything I just got through saying.
That was great, though, man, about how he got a negative mark.
Right over Joe's head. It says we're live, if you can see it.
We're all up in the booth going, get down, because they couldn't stop the clock. All he had to do was get down. We take a snap or two and the game's over. That's all we had to do. But I mean,
that was part of that epic game, man.
He wasn't going down with that ball not until he got to the end zone. That's
CJ Brewer right there.
CJ's like, come on, man, let's go. Come on.
Let's go.
Well, you know what? I think we should go ahead and let's go and get on these picks, Joe.
Oh, jeez.
Who's on them picks, Joe?
TD, if you'll look over Joe's left shoulder, he's going to indicate where he is as far as the pick standings go right now.
Who's on
Joe is
picks,
in the fart zone. And Joe's pointing it out for you right now if you're watching us on YouTube live. Got a good crowd on YouTube right now, by the way. But Joe's pointing it out to us.
I'm up Dookie Creek, man. I thought the Georgia teams would come through at home. And what did they do? Lay 2 eggs, both of them, for Pete's
sake.
Well,
Joe, they can't do it this week because they're playing each other.
Well, I'm talking about, one of them's going to lose. Yeah, because, I mean, I thought one of those two teams would win, at least one. So I wouldn't be, but both of them just went out in the ring. I'm up Dookie Creek because
of Georgia.
Because of Georgia. Yeah, because I picked those two teams to win. And they both went out there and just wet the bed.
I don't know when it's funnier, TD, when Joe's angry with his evil laugh or when he's happy with his evil laugh. President Weinbreak is very happy about that right now. Let's look at the rundown, go through it real quick, and then we'll come back and make our picks like we always do. We got 5 games we're looking at this week across the Sun Belt. Wiregrass Warriors at Voodoo Stew. Joe, the Dominion of Old.
The Dominion of Old
is at the Littlest President. The Texas State Armadillos travel to the Blundering Herd. Seymour to Campus, TD, travels to the Raggin' Cajuns. And finally, battle for the... We need to name the game between Turner Field and Gayso because Joe hates the state of Georgia so much now. But we got Turner Field traveling to Gayso.
Chips with your Gayso at a Braves game?
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking maybe like the Cashin Bowl.
The Cashin Bowl.
Or the Info Bowl.
God.
How about,
you know what, fans? You tweeted us. We need a name for that game.
Well, what is it? What is a good name for the Turner Field versus the school bus Budweiser Bandits from Statesboro?
Budweiser.
Listen, Joe, you may have just given them a better name than Gayso just then accidentally. That was not on purpose, but that was brilliant.
That was just totally organic right there. I mean, that's just what makes spontaneous.
That's what makes a Strut podcast so great. Most of this is organic. We are not good writers. All right. Wiregrass Warriors go to Voodoo Stew. Oh, by the way, quick note about the standings. TD and Chili, we are tied for first at 50-14 overall. Joe, you are 2 games behind because of the state of Georgia at 48-16. So leading it off is the Wiregrass Warriors at Voodoo Stew. Guys, I'll go first. I'm going to pick Voodoo Stew. I think both teams stink, but it's at Voodoo Stew.
Who's going first?
I just did. That's twice he hasn't listened to me tonight, Joe.
Well, I'm looking down my phone trying to get these games in my head, man.
He's too busy trying to stir up the app people.
I am, and I'm tweeting at everyone. Every time somebody makes a tweet, I'm tweeting right back. Voodoo Stew.
SIB, as we really should call them.
SIB.
I'm going with the Wiregrass Warriors while we wait on TD to mull this over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Troy. I'm gonna go Troy.
Oh, there we go.
He's gonna wait to see what I'm gonna do, but that's fine.
He's drafting you like in NASCAR. He's on the last lap at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
The Dominion of Old is at the Littlest President. I'm going to go with the Littlest President because the Dominion of Old looked terrible last week, and they're on the road again. Or on the road, I should say. TD, you go this time.
I want Old Dominion to win.
So you're going Old Dominion?
But I'm going to go JMU at home.
Okay.
Well, in that case,
Uh-oh.
that leaves me no choice but to go with the Dominion of Old.
I think you were going to go with them regardless, Joe.
I was, actually. I think they'll bounce back. I think Coles Joseph will have a big game.
Look, I'm going to be happy the way if I lose that game because I win, or vice versa.
Everyone's a winner in that game.
Honestly, we
really need JMU to win that game, honestly.
Yeah.
We need JMU.
JMU or Old Dominion?
We need JMU to win that game.
Now, walk me through that real quick.
Because we get JMU later.
Yeah, but then JMU would have a loss, though. JMU hasn't lost in conference.
If we give them the loss, that'll be fine as long as we don't lose.
Yeah, ODU will have 2 conference losses.
Again, I would like to have Old Dominion beat JMU just so we could give them. Yeah, but Old Dominion's going to drop another game. They're going to drop another game. I got a hunch they're going to drop another game. They play quickly. They got App State the following week. Then they have to go to, wait for it, Voodoo Stew.
Oh,
yeah,
my.
They get to go down there and play in that.
Then they got Troy. But then their last 2 games are against the Georgia boys, and you can pretty much pencil in 2 wins there.
Yeah, you write those in as wins because they're not losing to those crowds.
They did lose to Marshall, though, who Marshall at the time was
Hey,
2-3, and
Marshall.
Marshall, they look like world beaters that game, son.
I tell you, they figured some things out. After their team went to Southern Miss and became Southern Marshall.
Good one. Speaking of that, the Texas State Armadillos go to the blundering Herd. I'm going to go with the Herd. The Herd is the word.
Oh man,
Dr. Travis Danley, who do you have?
Troy's not playing bad, man, but Texas State, after kind of playing well early, right? They beat Eastern Michigan, they beat UTSA, they were in the game versus Arizona State for 3 quarters. They get upended by 1 versus Arkansas State. Troy plays them well. They lose in overtime. I think they get off the schneid right here.
So you're going with
State. I'm
Texas
going
State.
Armadillos.
TD likes the Armadillos, Joe.
I just think they get off the schneid.
No more schneid.
Off the schneid.
No
Watch
schneid
me.
in
I
San
got
Marcos.
a bad feeling I'm going to regret taking
Off the schneid.
JMU and Texas State this week.
Schneid Marcos.
Did I tell you who I'm going with in this game, or have I
Not
made
yet.
my pick yet? Okay. I want the blundering Herd in this
That
one.
away.
A
You're
Texas
picking with the
State win
champion on
does
that
help us, though. You know that, right? Just heads up. It gives
Seymour
Marshall another
DeCampus.
loss. So
That's right. That's true.
it does give Marshall
Seymour
a loss.
DeCampus, TD, your second favorite school in the Sun Belt. Seymour DeCampus goes to the Raggin Cajuns.
I'm taking the campus, boys.
Give me Seymour as well.
I'm taking.
I think I'm rolling with the campus, man. I think
I like old campus. My man.
I'm going with
like
the, I'm going with the campus over the culture.
TD,
Hey.
before we get to our last pick, tell me what's keeping you from buying a Seymour DeCampus T-shirt at this point.
Because I'm a Chanticleer fan.
Okay, thank you.
Because then
Last
I would be
game.
betraying Chauncey. And I'm
I
not going
think
to do
it'd
that.
be funny if you had one, though, to be honest
I
with
think
you.
it'd be hilarious, honestly.
Dude, my number one all time, always will be, is Chauncey.
Yeah. We
Number
know that. I
9
mean, you're on a
was
coastal
We know
podcast.
that. We know that. We're not going to do an
But right
intervention
behind-
on you
not
if
a
you wear
close-
one of
not a
those
close
shirts.
Second, not a close second. Not even a third. A fifth is old DeCampus. I do like me some DeCampus.
Joe, here's what's
What a
gonna happen.
name, man. I got a question. When they were sitting around that room, who came up with, I mean, you think there was probably like some alcohol? What'd you say, Chili?
Here's what I'm going to do, TD. I want you to get that T-shirt, and I want you to wear it on this podcast. You got to wear it for Southern Miss Week. Just have it. I need you to have it. And when you show up with that on, I'm going to snap a photograph, and I'm going to find a way to get it to your dad. That's what I'm going to do. Look what's going on here.
I need
He's
a
wearing Seymour
DeCampus.
DeCampus T-shirt.
I need a Seymour DeCampus bobblehead. That's what I
That'd be
need.
cool.
Old bobblehead, old DeCampus bobblehead. And my sister-in-law's sister went to Southern Miss.
I got a good friend that coached at Southern Miss, so we both got some connections there, Joe. Maybe we can get him something Seymour DeCampus.
I can get Maggie can probably get me a DeCampus, man. But I got a question real quick. Slight derailment. Do you think they were sitting around a room with a few cocktails, maybe smoking something and going, we got to come up with a mascot name?
See, that's what the TD. That's a great question. I wonder if they put that out to the Greek society there at Southern Miss and say
right,
somebody
listen.
come up with something.
Somebody
Maybe during a
come up-
mixer or something like that. A
Challenge
bunch of them got
accepted.
all lubed
I
up
will
and
look it
drawn,
up.
funneling in names.
rolling
Seymour
something.
DeCampus.
And they
Seymour DeCampus.
Tom
What is the
Foolery.
name of-
Nah, Seymour DeCampus. Yeah.
What is the name of Sam Hill is going on with Seymour DeCampus?
What were the first 3 options? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen,
I
I'm
would
going
love
to
to
Goldie.
know what those options were.
Goldie.
when I did the school histories, and we used to throw the mascot history in, 2 seasons ago, TD, if you'll recall, that's when we unveiled the Seymour DeCampus name, and there was a
I
little bit of
lost it,
story that
man.
went with it. I'm
I
going to pull
freaking
that back out. I got to find out
lost
what it is too now.
You know what? While you're doing that, I'm gonna hit the old Google Gemini
There
right
it
here,
is.
and I'm gonna ask him.
Well, why don't you go ahead and Google your last pick as well, so Joe doesn't have to wait for you and everybody else.
All right,
Turner
I already s-
Field at Gayso. Give me Gayso, Joe,
You know,
Man,
and the Cashin Bowl,
God, cash and bowl.
the Info
The-
Classic.
More like the toilet bowl. Man, these two put me in the toilet after last week. Good heavens! Just
The Dookie Creek State Championship.
the Dookie Creek. You know, instead of Eagle Creek, it's Dookie Creek, man. I guess I gotta go with the school bus, Budweiser, Swilling, Geso, whatever they are.
Give me the turn signal, Budweiser drinking, yellow school bus driving, big wheeling, dealing, Screaming Eagles from
There you go.
Statesboro. The
Hey,
best
wasn't the
thing in
Screaming Eagles
Statesboro is the
Minnesota
Hardys.
State from Coach? Wasn't that their mascot, Joe and TD?
What's
Remember
that?
the TV show Coach? They were the
Yeah.
Screaming Eagles.
They were Screaming Eagles.
Minnesota
But the only thing
State.
screaming down in Statesboro is for Clay Helton's job.
I was just about to say,
Dude,
TD, if they lose this game, I mean, Chili did a poll question about the most miserable fan base right now. You
Yep.
want to see a fan base that'll rocket to the top, and no one else will be anywhere close. I mean, they're already miserable in Statesboro. They want to go back to Irk Russell and triple option football. You know.
Let me tell you something. This
Lord.
day and age, that may not be.
Yeah, well, I mean, what else? I mean, it works. You know, it can work. Run it.
I mean, you know, I don't care. I'm just pulling for them this weekend to beat Turner Field. Joe, I got results on those polls. I'll do those real quick after we finish up the picks. Just recap real quick. Wiregrass Warriors, Joe and TD, Voodoo Stew, Chili. The Dominion of Old, Joe. Littlest President, me and TD. The Armadillos, TD, you're standing by yourself in San Marcos while Joe and I are in Huntington pulling for the Blundering Herd. All three of us chose the second best mascot in the Sun Belt, Seymour DeCampus. And finally,
Thank you.
all three of us, Joe, you got another milkshake? You're not getting a milkshake by
Right here at the end of the show, I get it.
And Geso, all three of us say, is going to beat up on Turner Field. I'm going to do some quick poll results, Joe. Who's George? Joe, I'm going to pull up some quick poll results because we got some final results here. The most
Who's
miserable fan
George?
base as voted on by the people. Liberty with 54.7%. I think it's cool that Liberty got 54.
54%.
Coastal was second at 26%, by the way. Based on the remaining schedule, does Coastal make a bowl game? 65 votes were in, and 66% of the people who voted said Coastal will not make a bowl game. Two more polls real quick, and we'll go to the last part. What's your temperature?
We win
following...
this weekend, and our chances increase exponentially.
That's true.
Ooh.
Absolutely. I can't even spell that
Break
word.
out your thesauruses.
Yes. Thesaurus is a dinosaur with a big vocabulary, by the way.
The thesaurus.
Easy for you to say. After the game Saturday, we tweeted out, what's your temperature? 67 votes in, 55.2%. Joe and TD said, Lastly,
Meh.
Meh. Mid.
Should
meh.
Collier be the starter going forward? 116 votes on that question, Joe and TD.
Yeah.
85.3% said yes.
Yes.
He should be the starter going forward.
Yes, he should. Yes.
Two quick things, and then we'll call it a show. This week's fan of the week. I'll get you in a second, TD. This week's fan of the week, Jay Largen. He was the first person, TD, this week to like your picture of you wearing the helmet while we were broadcasting a while ago. It's on Twitter now.
Love me some Jay.
Yep. So Jay
Love you
Largen
some
is
Jay.
the fan of the
Love
week.
me some Jay. Love
Good
you some
dude.
Jay.
We all love Jay. And I want to give a quick shout out to QB1, one of our best followers on X and anything we do social media wise. Dude, I don't know you, but you have earned yourself a Canva certificate because you're trying to turn yourself into Doyle data for football. And it is most appreciated by your friends and fans and followers here at the Strut Podcast. TDJ, the whole home office here at the Strut headquarters was just a buzz at what QB1 was putting out. People in the office, HR was talking about it. It's great.
That's funny.
HR.
That's funny.
Home runs. Speaking of
Yeah.
home runs, we got to talk
Go
about
ahead,
that before we get
TD.
off. But real quick, the University of Southern Mississippi's mascot, Seymour DeCampus, was named after another famous mascot, Seymour DeFair. You're both asking, wait a minute, doesn't Seymour DeFair sound familiar? You may remember him. He was represented at the 1984 World's Fair in New Orleans. That's how you remember him. The World's Fair connection, Jeff Davis, a former Southern Miss mascot performer, played the role of Seymour DeFair. The Golden Eagle connection, the World's Fair mascot was a Golden Eagle because, as you chilly know, Joe, the Golden Eagle is actually right behind the bald eagle as the official second eagle. It's kind of like the vice president and the president, the bald eagle and the Golden Eagle. The Golden Eagle connection is the same animal that represents Southern Miss. The name adoption, Southern Miss adopted the name from its Golden Eagle mascot, and DeCampus was added to complete the new identity. The University of Southern Miss Golden Eagles nickname was adopted in 1972, replacing the previous nickname, the Southerners. They really went out on a limb to get that one right.
It's a good change.
That's a good change. I mean,
Solid
where
work,
was
Presidents.
it's interesting. That's how Seymour DeCampus came about. His dad was Seymour DeFair. Right.
Well,
Yes.
speaking of seeing more things as we wrap things up, Joe and TD,
To my
be
baseball.
sure
Baseball.
to go ccusports.com and see more of the basketball and baseball schedule and softball schedules.
What a baseball schedule, man.
I know. I wish
What
we
a
had more time to
baseball
dive
schedule.
into it. We're already an hour over on the show here, but
That's all right.
basketball, baseball, softball, everything is up now as far as the schedules go. I've seen Coach Gray doing some press already. I didn't get a chance to see it, Joe and TD. I don't know if you saw it or not, but some people were retweeting some of the quotes Coach Gray was saying about the team this year. One of the things that they said that was standing out to them so far was that Coach Gray is already saying expect Coastal men's basketball to play a whole lot faster this year. So
Good.
going to have more fun basketball at the HTC Center coming up. And I look forward to having my whiteboard out, Joe and TD,
Oh.
because I didn't get to use it much last season. So I'm looking forward to using it a lot more this season.
I've seen
think
Coach
he's-
Gray from time to
I,
time, so
I
he's
think
ready.
he's got more. I think he's got more of a roster with personnel that
Yeah.
that's really going to fit what he wants to do. So we need to get him back on here. Love to get a
Yep.
season preview.
He
was
wants
a
to come
good
back
guest.
on. He wants to come back on. I
Yeah,
saw him
we,
at
need- we,
the-
need, we need to hook that up, hook that show up, get him back on. So
Congratulations goes out to the university and Kevin Schnall for making that happen through 2030. That was a big deal, man, for this day and age with recruits and things like that, locking down that. They showed some pictures too of the renovation. Field's coming along, a little darker green on the outside of the foul poles, but I know why they're doing that. It's kind of like the darker green that we put on the darker teal we put on the football field. They're thinking 10 years down the road, right? When it does fade a little bit, right? It will fade a little bit. It's just natural. We have like 300 plus days of sunshine here for any recruit listening. Unlike Crappalachian Stank. Remember, you go to Blowing Rock till you smell it and continue north 18 more minutes till you step in it. And so just remember that. But a great move, got him locked up, got the staff locked up. I'll end with this. That East Carolina series, the first weekend of March, that atmosphere could be equally as good as that regional sun. I'm telling
it'll
you.
be lit, man.
Gonna be lit.
Lit.
I'm jacked up for that series, man. Jacked up.
Joe, how can we catch the game Saturday?
Rock 107, and
You can chew your
pull that up.
milkshake first.
You got me in the middle of a milkshake.
I didn't mean to get you mid-bite, Joe. I'm sorry.
Joe's milkshake brings all the shunts to the yard.
Boom,
So-
there you
They'll be on the air at 1:30 from the deer stand up there at Kid Brewer Stadium, where they moved visiting radio from the tower side where the home seats are over to the other side. And you get a great view.
It's a
of
low
course, we won
profile
there.
view, right, Joe? It's kind of like lower profile view. It's actually
but I mean,
yeah.
you can see everything. It's great. So 1:30 airtime for the Chanticleer Sports Radio Network. Chris Bergen, Lane Harris, Joe Katz, Kyle Rush, those guys do a great job, and you can pull it up through the Go CCU Sports app,
That's right.
and you can live stream it that way. So Rock 107, tune into those guys. They do a great job. Listen to them every week. So
I
Yep.
will.
And,
I thought
and
you were
don't
talking
forget,
me.
Saturday.
Joe, I thought you were talking about me listening to it from a deer stand because I will be listening to it.
See, that's
from
what
the deer
Cat.
stand.
I think Katz was the one that called it the deer stand because it's kind of like one of those. It was a temporary box. I think they left over there, and then when they turned the radio booth, the visiting radio booth on the other side of Kid Brewer into Big Money Donor area. And yeah, it used to be a great radio box anyway, but then they moved everybody on the other side of the stadium. Still get a great view. The only problem is there's no toilet that's close by. So if you're somebody like me,
Well, they're not
Gotta-
used to
gotta go
using
a
them
little bit.
in Boone anyway.
nowhere you got to go all the way down the crowd. But I mean, still a great. vantage point.
They have a bucket there, Joe. They're used to just throwing it
All right,
out.
well, you got to do what you got to do, man.
There's an outhouse right behind the stadium. TV
That's
for 'em.
true.
And Boone's motto, by the way, should be "Welcome to App State, altitude high, expectations academically low." I put y'all some jokes in the chat. Y'all didn't even use them.
I
Anyway.
know. I just now noticed that. I know.
I had to throw
Chili,
one
the
in.
outhouse you're talking about is an academic building. Stop. You
There
can't
it
do.
is.
Don't.
There it
That's
is.
just wrong, man.
Anyway, let's get a Sean's up and call it a show. We're getting tired.
Hey,
Sean's
hate
up.
week, beat SIB. Sean's up.
Yeah.